So you are at the free webinar, SEO 101, Getting Down to Basics. You're either here because you've heard about SEO and you want to learn more. You're either here because you want to run an SEO campaign, but you're not too sure how to start. Or you're here because you want to do this on your own, see if it's acceptable for you to do on your own, see if it's an achievable task for you to do. Or lastly, you're here because you're a competition and you want to know what we're offering. Totally fine. We are accepting everyone, so thank you for attending. Today's topics, what we're going to cover are SEO basics. We're going to discuss keywords, on-page SEO as well as off-page SEO, and how to measure results. At the very end, we will have a Q&A session. Now, as I stated before we started, any questions that you have during today's session, please write them as you think of them. That way you don't forget, and type them in the questions box in your upper right-hand corner. When we get to the Q&A session, we'll go through them in order that we receive them. So that will help us as well if we need to go back to a slide or not. I will tell you that we ran the same webinar last month and the recording is available on our website. It will be substituted with today's recording at the end of this week. But at the end of that session, we only had a few questions, and the month before that, we didn't have any. So that may happen again. I'm not sure. We have a much larger audience today, so we'll see how it goes. Real briefly, I'd like to do an introduction of myself. I am Michelle Ann Sherritt, and I have over 15 years of experience in several different industries. I have over 6 years of experience in SEO, social media, marketing, internet marketing, web design, usability, research and testing. So I speak a lot around the world on all of these topics. I also publish, as well as my husband, Dr. Matthew Sherritt, who is the brains of our operation. Our whole business is based off of his PhD and his doctoral work. So we actively publish. We are involved in many different seminars, conferences. We speak all over the world on the topic of SEO, and we conduct these webinars for free to give knowledge to the public. Just a brief introduction about our company. Our company is called Situated Research, and we are located in Naperville, Illinois, which is about 45 minutes west of Chicago. It's a wonderful suburb. Today it's nice, bright, and sunny and warm, which we're happy about. Here at Situated Research, what we do is we conduct usability research and testing. So that's our main focus. We do usability research and testing on websites, software, products, video games, you name it, we do it. And our specialty is unique to us because of my husband's doctoral work and what he did. He's the only one in the world who conducts the type of research and testing that we do. So it really benefits companies to make their products or software more user-friendly, which is the ultimate goal. We also specialize in social media. That's my niche. So right now I'm publishing a book on social media, which will be out towards the end of this year, probably towards Christmas it'll be finished. And what we like to do here at Situated Research is make everything simple. Make it so that anybody, no matter what their background is, can understand the topics, can understand the subject matter and everything that's involved. So our book's going to be doing that. Of course, we know SEO. We are experts in SEO because we do design websites. We've been doing that for about 16 years now. And we know about SEO. We know how to get your search ranking up. And so recently, what struck us to start this free webinar was what we offer are called free usability reports. And you can go to our website and learn more about that or how to ask for one for your current website. But we go over 20 different areas of your website. So we go over content, menu navigation, site nav, SEO is one of the topics that we go over. And what we're noticing is that 3 out of 100 usability reports that we do have SEO integrated within the coding of the website. 3 out of 100, that's what we're noticing lately. And so we really thought, wow, these companies are getting websites or they're hiring SEO companies and they have no idea what they've gotten, what they've paid for. If it's working, they have no idea. So that's why we do today's webinar for free. So if you didn't get a chance to check out our website or our company, go to www.situateresearch.com to learn more about us. Just some more bookkeeping, and then we'll get right into the webinar. We do have upcoming webinars. We have a whole social media series currently on our website, so you can watch it anytime, download the podcast to your iPod, to your iPad, watch us anytime. We have on the social media series webinars on blogging, how to start a blog, what to blog about, how to get traffic to your blog, how to integrate it within your website. Facebook, what are the advantages of having a company fan page? What are the advantages of LinkedIn? What are even the advantages of using Twitter? What's your return on investment? How do you measure social media metrics? So all of these webinars are on our website. The social media metrics one for measuring will be available. I believe we're doing that webinar on the 8th, but the previous recording is on our website. We're doing a more advanced SEO class as well for free. So that advanced course, the webinar schedule is on our website, so check it out and sign up. If you're interested in social media, we also have a social media marketing course that's available on our website for $99. You have access for 1 month to our social media marketing course videos. There's 5 videos that are about 2 hours long each, so it's 10 hours of video. Download at your leisure. You can download to your computer. Ask us any questions. For a whole month, you have tech support with us for that $99. So check that out as well. It's on the webinar section of our website. All right, enough housekeeping, enough about me, enough about Situated Research. Let's get into it. Before we do get into it, though, make sure that you have a pad of paper and a pen or pencil so that you can take notes, because we're going to go through an awful lot of material today, and I want to make sure that you understand everything. Again, write your questions or type them into your questions box in your upper right-hand corner. So let's get into it. SEO. What the heck does SEO stand for? If you don't know, it's search engine optimization. You hear this term all the time. What does it mean? Well, the textbook definition of it is that it's the process of improving the volume and quality of traffic to a website from search engines via natural, which means organic or algorithmic search results for targeted keywords that you put within your website pages. Usually the earlier a site is presented in the search results or the higher it ranks, the more searches will visit that site. Okay? So SEO can also target different kinds of search, including image search, local search, industry-specific vertical search engines, all this other stuff. What you really care about is that you want to be doing search engine submission, and just having a site is not enough. Okay, so all of you have probably had webmasters who built your website, submitted your website to search engines, but that's not enough. You have to get customers to find you. You have to get customers to your website. And to do that, your website has to use certain techniques and technologies that make search engines rank your site higher on their results lists when customers actually do a search for your type of company. That's what search engine optimization is. In a nutshell, SEO is a subset of search engine marketing, or SEM, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. It focuses on the natural, organic relevancy and ranking of content in search results. So what's SEM? SEM, again, is search engine marketing. So it's the act of promoting content on the internet. The overall activity around using search engines to market a site or online entity. It includes SEO, but it also includes pay-per-click, or PPC, which you've probably heard that term all the time. So what is all of this? What's SEO? What's SEM? What's PPC, pay-per-clicks? When you do a Google search or search on any search engine, your search results are going to come out and look like this. And so you can see in the darker green area at the top, those look like ads. Those are search engine marketing ads that come up when you type in certain keywords, if I can talk. On the right-hand side, in the lighter green, are your pay-per-clicks. These are your sponsored links. This is where you can go to Google and you can do an ad campaign, and you can say, you know what, anytime someone searches for these certain keywords, I want my ad to come up So on the right-hand side, your ad will come up, and any time that anyone clicks on your ad, you get charged. That's the downside to it. And now people know that. They know that it's pay-per-click, so every time they click on something, someone's going to get charged some amount. So you'll have kids doing Google searches and just clicking on things just so people get charged because they think it's funny. You have hackers that do it. So our advice here at Situated Research is that if you get something in the mail through Google AdWords, is what it's called, for a free promotion, they might give you $100 to sign up to do an ad. You can do it. You'll have to give them your credit card information because if you get charged beyond a certain, beyond that $100 that they're giving you, or $75 it usually is, you'll start getting charged. You, of course, can get email before that happens so that you can stop the campaign. But what we found here at Situated Research is that you can go ahead and try it, but it doesn't really gain you much traffic to your website. The payout isn't worth it. Setting it up can take you, if you know what you're doing, anywhere from 10 minutes. And if you don't know what you're doing, I've seen clients take over an hour to do it. So it's not really worth your time, is what we say here at Situated Research. You can definitely try it. I'm not saying don't try it. You can do it. We did it. But we just found out that it didn't work. Now, the results that come up here in purple are your actual organic SEO. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. But before we do that, let's talk about the pros and cons of SEO, and let's talk about the pros and cons of search engine marketing or pay-per-clicks. The pros to SEO is that it's free. Okay. Music to any business owner's ears. It's free. Yay! Unless you go with a firm to help you with SEO. Then you're going to have to pay something, obviously, for them and their services. Searchers click on organic search results more often than paid per click links. So you want to keep that in mind. We know this through research that our company has done, as well as other usability firms out there, so we know that this is to be true. The cons to SEO are that it is time consuming and you don't get instant gratification. So if you ever go with a firm and they say to you, we can guarantee that your search ranking will be on page 1. If you look at your contract carefully, the word guarantee is nowhere in there because no one can guarantee it. Google and other search engines change their mathematical algorithm, the way that they rank your website, the way that you're going to get ranked to be on page 1 almost daily now. So there's no way for anyone to know besides Google and the other search engines how your website's going to be ranked. So no one can guarantee that for you. What all this boils down to when you hire an SEO firm, and we'll get into this a little bit later, is how important is your website? How much relevant traffic are you getting to your website? Because the more relevant traffic you can get to your website, the more popular your website looks, the higher your ranking is going to be. And that's what it boils down to. Now, the pros for SEM, search engine marketing, and pay-per-clicks is that it's an excellent way of creating awareness quickly. Campaigns can be budgeted to fit a business's needs. So like I said, at Google AdWords, you can put in a budget and say, I don't want to pay beyond this. If we get to that point, stop the ad. But the cons are that it can be pricey. If you continue to do it monthly, it can be $25 a month or $100,000 a month. I mean, it just depends on how much you want to spend. It must be managed constantly, daily, weekly, by someone on your staff. The return on investment is very difficult to manage and to figure out. And there's click fraud, like I said. Kids now know that they can just click, so they think it's funny. There's hackers out there. There's business people like your competition who just think it's funny. Let's get this ad down off of here. They must have a budget. Let's just keep clicking until we don't see it anymore. We've heard it all. We've heard every story, and it's horrible. So that's why we don't believe in search engine marketing or pay-per-clicks. Just our opinion here, but it's also our experience with several hundred clients that we've had. So let's get into now a little bit about ethics when it comes to SEO. Some of you have probably hired an SEO company to help you out, or some of you are thinking about doing it. Just know that there's a difference when you do SEO between what's right and what's wrong. So you've probably heard of the terms white hat SEO and black hat SEO. And you're right. White hat, good guy, black hat, bad guy. So let me just explain this a little bit because these terms get pushed around all over the internet, especially on social media sites, and we're not too sure what they really mean. White hat SEO is the way you want it to go, ethically. It follows search engine guidelines. It strives for the best possible search engine ranking. And the #1 ranking does take several months this way. That's not instant gratification. But your company will be respected. You won't get lawsuits from search engines like Google. And I won't name any companies that have been in the news lately because they went with black hat SEO. But black hat SEO knowingly breaks many or most of the search engine guidelines. It misrepresents content via different sneaky techniques. It uses techniques to trick either the search engine or the searcher or both in most cases. And it also promises #1 ranking or guarantees it. And remember, you can't guarantee it. So you don't want to end up in the news like some companies recently. So you definitely want to make sure that if you hire an SEO company, you ask what their practices are. You ask what they're going to do for you. The overall goal with search engines is that you want to deliver the most relevant search results possible. With searchers, you want them to be able to find the most relevant search results, and you want your website to come up. And as site owners, you want to optimize your site and its content for the most relevant searcher. Let's talk about SEO workflow right now. And we have this web picture here with these spider robots, okay? And these spider robots are crawling around a web. Well, the web is the internet. And these spiders crawl around and they attack themselves to a website. And they search that website all over the place. They look at photos, they look at videos, they look at content, they look at everything. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. Keyword research and analysis is key to SEO. And we're going to go through these steps a little bit more in detail so that you understand what keyword research is, what analysis is. These crawlers analyze sites for crawl and performance issues. They implement optimization, monitor results, and we repeat them as needed. Just some real quick SEO tips. You want return visitors to come back to your website. You can purchase web advertising, but again, here at Situated Research, we kind of frown upon it. You want to be active in any social media groups that you're in to get traffic to your website. You want to avoid Flash as much as you can. Now, what's Flash? Flash is a program that you can use for programming on your website. If you ever go to a website and you see photos going across the screen as you're reading content, that's Flash. If you ever see a banner on the website that is automated, so there's animation involved, that's Flash. Search engine crawlers or spiders or robots, whatever you want to call them, do not recognize Flash, period. Flash was done in the 80s and early 90s. It's obsolete now. We have so many free usability reports that we do where Flash is still being used. Obviously, their website hasn't been updated recently. Or if it has, the company they went with is old school. Flash is really going to the wayside because search engines cannot index Flash. They can't index photos. They can't index videos. Okay? So you need to keep that in mind when your website's developed. And if you have a website now that is using Flash and animation and all this good stuff, please contact us so we can help you. Another SEO tip is that you want to divide your website into separate pages by subject. Not only is it a good thing for SEO, but it's also a good way to organize your website, figure out what pages are obsolete, not being used, kind of gets into usability a little bit as well. You want to place popular search terms in the page's content. So content writing is huge. You want to make sure that the keywords you choose for each page of your website are embedded within the content of the page. So there has to be good content. You also have to have good title tags, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, but every page of your website needs to have a title. The title cannot be the same for every page of your website, okay? Links are good. So links in, so people linking to you are good. Links out are bad. Link out with high-ranked websites if you do that. I get so many emails every day where people are like, oh, let's do a link building campaign. And yesterday I had one. It was a cosmetic company. And they said, I'll put your website link on my website if you do the same for mine. And I wrote back and I said, why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. Your cosmetic business has nothing to do with my business. I specialize in usability. You specialize in cosmetics. What do we have in common? There is no way that I would do a link building campaign with another company that did not have anything to do with ours. It doesn't make any sense. People who go to a cosmetic website are not going to click on our website. They're just not. And it lowers our search engine ranking because search engines look at that and say, okay, there's no relevancy here. And we get put down on the totem pole. So make sure that if you do link building campaigns that the company that you're doing it with is relevant to your company. You actually can help each other out. You're linked together in some way within your industry. And it's a high-ranking website that you're linking with. It's just not Joe Schmo down the street. Give people a free subscription to your newsletter, so an RSS or a really simple syndication feed. You'll know this if you go to blogs and you subscribe to it, you'll get a notification every time they update their blog in your email. You want to make sure that you give people that functionality on your website. And create and invite people to your online forum if you have one. Press releases are great. Social bookmarking links are great. Optimizing and distributing a press release, announcing a new blog post is great. Research and comment on relevant industry-related blogs is good because that gets the word out. Link your website. I go through all of these SEO tips, which are really boiled down to becoming an expert within social media in order to get relevant people and relevant links back to your website, to gain relevant traffic back to your website. So that free webinar is available on the webinars page of our site. I believe it's called Becoming an Expert Within Social Media. So now let's talk about these terms on-page and off-page SEO. We hear these terms again flashed around all the time. What do they mean? On-page SEO is what is embedded within the code of every page of your website. We're going to go through these in just a moment so that you understand what each one is. But you have to make sure that every page of your website has a unique page title. You have to make sure that keywords are embedded within the URL of every page. Every page of your website has a specific URL to it. Okay? So your website just isn't www.situateresearch.com. Yeah, that takes you to the home page. However, if you want to learn about our webinars, it would be situateresearch.com/webinars. Webinars is our keyword, and that will take you to the webinars page. You have to make sure that your keywords are in your page headings as well. That's within the code of your website. You have to make sure that you have page descriptions for every page of your site and that you have what are called alt tags for any video or photos that you have because search engines like Google do not recognize photos and do not recognize video or flash. So you have to have what we call alt tags. Again, we're going to go through all of these in just a moment. But that's on-page SEO. Off-page SEO is simply inbound links coming back to your website, which we just talked about. So inbound links, you can really get a lot of inbound links to your website by including relevant anchor texts when you're hyperlinking within your own website. So this is just linking pages within your website together and embedding keywords within content. So bottom line is that you want to, when you're bringing inbound links to your site, you want to attract links from trusted sites, which we just talked about, respected blogs, media outlets, and other well-established sites that actually have a high ranking, high traffic, relevant traffic coming to their website. So some SEO benefits of publishing. This is actually a photo taken from our blog. is that you want to have interesting content because that's going to be a link magnet. People are going to link back to your blog posts. Blogs are a great way to get inbound traffic to your website. And again, we have that social media series that's for free on the webinars page where we have blogging. And we tell you how to do it, how to set it up and everything. Okay, so let's talk about keywords, and then we'll get into page descriptions, page titles, alt tags, all of that good stuff. Keywords are really the core to search engine optimization. Keywords are the terms that are used by searchers to find your information. So when you do a Google search yourself and you type in keywords to bring up your search queries, those keywords are words that you feel are going to bring up the sites that you want to see. So you're the searcher, you're typing in keywords. So you have to think, okay, if someone's going to go to my website, what keywords do I want them to type in order to bring up my website? Now, we've had some companies that have come to us as well as our competition that put 1 million keywords, not literally, maybe 50 to 100 keywords. They think of every keyword they can think of that would bring up their website. So just here in Naperville, we have competition, of course, with web design. And they're not really competition because we specialize and we have patents in the technique that we have, but we'll call them competition. They have 50 to 100 keywords that they put in. So they put in Naperville, they put in Chicago, they put in every suburb that they can. So that way, if anyone goes into Google and puts in a search for Algonquin, Illinois web design company, their website's sure to come up. They're not located in Algonquin. They're located in Naperville, Illinois. But they cheated. They did that black hat SEO that we talked about earlier. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that the keywords that you choose are relevant to your website, to the pages that they're embedded in. The goal is to leverage and implement the same keywords throughout your content in a natural manner to match the audiences who's searching for your information and you're looking to attract. Now, just a note here, don't put every keyword for every page within the content of your different pages in order to rank highly because your audience will get annoyed. We have competition, and like I said, we have websites that we've looked at to do that free usability report on, and they had about 10 keywords on their website page, just one page, and they embedded those keywords within the content, which is good. However, the way they did it was every other word was a keyword, okay? And it didn't make sense to the user who was going to be coming to the website and reading the content. They just did it for ranking purposes. Make sure that you embed some keywords, but not all. If it doesn't make sense to your user, that's your ultimate goal as your user. You want to make sure that that person who's coming to your website understands your content. So there's different ways to do that, and we can teach you how to do that. In order to decide what keywords to use, you need to do keyword discovery. So you have to know your keywords. Ask your business owner, if you're not a business owner. Ask your customers, what are you typing into search engines to bring up websites like ours, types of companies like ours, our industry. Check the current server logs or analytic tools. Ask your webmaster. Check the site search logs. You can do that as well. Check out your competitors' keywords. See what the heck they're putting in their keyword searches. Look at the keywords in the title tag browser bar. View the source to view their keywords. And the way that you do that, you're probably like, what is she talking about? If you go to any web page on a website, you could take your mouse and right-click on it. And you can click View Page Source. And when you do that, what's going to come up is going to be the coding behind that page. So you can go to any competitor's site, and you can right-click and hit View Page Source, and you can see the code that made up that page. And so you can go to any competitor within your industry and see what keywords did they put. So here's our keywords. What page description did they put using those keywords? What were their page titles? What we really care about with competition is keywords. What keywords did they choose? So here's Situated Research. When we do advanced SEO for companies, we do this for you. We look at your competitors' websites. We see what keywords they're putting in. We ask customers what keywords they're putting in to bring up your website. So we look at all of that. The main thing that you want to make sure, and you can check your own website. So if you're a business owner and you have no idea about programming and you have a team or you hired a company and you know this whole webinar has been kind of over your head or you're not really understanding everything, there's a great way to check up on your website to make sure that it's search engine optimization ready. Go to every page on your website or just pick 3 at random. And just right-click and hit View Page Source. And do that for 3 pages randomly on your website. And put the pages one under each other or whatever you want to do to compare them. Open them one up at a time, whatever you want to do. Make sure that the titles of every page are different. Make sure that you have keywords. And you're saying, I don't know how to look at code. This is what it looks like. And yeah, it looks a little overwhelming, but your title, keywords, and descriptions will be at the very top of the code for every page. So what you're looking for, write this down. You want to make sure that the page title of those 3 random pages you choose are different. So if I'm on the webinars page of my website, I shouldn't see this title because it has nothing to do with webinars. When I look at the keywords, I should see between 7 to 10 keywords chosen for this particular page. And those keywords should be different for those 3 random pages that you chose. The keywords should be different. And you shouldn't have more than 10 keywords for the page. For the page description, the sentence used should not be more than 70 characters. If it is more than 70 characters, search engines will not even look at it. And make sure that that page description is a sentence that was taken out of the content of the page. So, as an example, if you go to our home page and you right-click and hit View Page Source, this is what will come up. If you go to the webinars page, for example, of our website, right-click, hit View Page Source. The title should be different, the keywords should be different, and the page description should be different. Okay? Do it with your own website. Now, like I said, 3 out of 100 websites that we evaluate have page titles, have page descriptions, have page keywords. The rest either don't have it at all, which is really bad because then your website's not being ranked at all, or they have keywords, but they have more than 10, so then search engines aren't looking at it at all. Or they have the same page description for every page on their website. So then search engines definitely aren't looking at their website at all. So that's what you're looking at. So you're saying, well, this is great, but what the heck? What keywords do I use? I have no clue where to start. It really depends on the context and themes of your pages and the audience that you're targeting. Use keywords that are being searched on, that have medium to low competition, that you can build quality content that site visitors will appreciate and not be like, oh, I see what these people are doing. They're just trying to raise their search ranking. Use keywords that aid the search engines in understanding your content and that aid users and persuade them to act, to do something, to have a call to action. Now, I want to show you how search engines obtain content, what they do. Search engines send bots or spiders or whatever the heck you want to call them into the web. They crawl via hyperlinks within your website. And just think of it like Pac-Man. Pac-Man is the spider or this robot, whatever you want to call him, and he comes along onto your website periodically, and he sucks up your content. He sucks up your theme. He sucks up your links. He sucks up the page descriptions. He sucks up all the information that he can, and then he indexes your website off of that. That gives you your page ranking. So think of Pac-Man like Google. Google comes along. He's a spider. He's a robot, whatever, and he looks at your website and evaluates it. Okay? Now, if you're missing one criteria, guess what? He leaves and doesn't rank your website and doesn't come back for an awful, awful long time, if not ever. So you want to make sure that your website is SEO ready. Now, what is the search engine bot or spider or whatever? What happens when a search engine bot or spider visit your website? First, what it does is it checks for robots.txt files, which are something that your programmer may put in to give the robot instructions on how to index your website. Just a tip here at Situated Research, you don't want to have that because if you're telling the search engine how to index your website, you didn't do a good job with SEO. Second, it begins to crawl your website. So it follows links in your site from the current page. It also pays attention to any page-level robot instructions. It grabs the content, the page descriptions, the titles, link labels, text, etc. It adds to its index, so you are searchable. So it adds you to their database they have, so you're searchable. Again, if you're missing anything that we've talked about, it will leave. Now, when you first build your website, it, of course, will come to your website and index it for the first time. Okay? It will do that. But depending on how much traffic is coming to your site, how well you did your SEO will determine how often it comes back to your site to re-index it. And the more times it comes back to your website to re-index it, guess what? Your page ranking gets higher and higher, and you will get on that page 1. So how do search engine robots work? Again, you want to avoid Flash at all costs. Search engines will not index anything using Flash. Fact, they will not. It's a waste of space. And as far as usability goes, I will also give you an added tip that users find it distracting. Think about it. If you go to a website where banners are flashing or videos are going across the screen or slideshows are happening, it's distracting you from the content, from the reason why you came to the website. And 85% of the time, the user will leave your site. That's proven research by us and other usability firms out there. Photos have crawling issues, meaning search engines, when they come to a photo, they won't index it because it's not words. Search engines only suck up words, okay? That's all they know how to suck up. So if you have a lot of photos on your website or any photos at all, you want to make sure that they include alt tags, so a description of the photo within the code of the website. If they don't, the photo's obsolete. No one's going to look at it. The crawlers aren't going to look at it, and that page isn't most likely going to get indexed. So tips. You want to obtain links to your site from authoritative sources. So we talked about that. So you will get crawled. You will get indexed organically. You want to make sure that your website has been submitted to the major search engines, to Google, to Bing, to MSN. And you want to monitor the pages that search engines are indexing. Sitemaps are a great way to get quick SEO, to get your rankings higher, to get the pages, every page of your website indexed. Yes, you need page titles, you need keywords, and you need descriptions embedded. But beyond that, sometimes search engines won't even look at your website if you don't have a sitemap. So now you're saying, okay, I have all these things to worry about. Now I need a sitemap on top of it? Yes. Sitemaps are industry standard. They're web industry standard. They're usability industry standard. Sometimes when users get to a website that's overwhelming, they know to look at sitemaps now. Sitemaps are basically a hierarchy of the pages within your website. So it is a hierarchy of the content and the pages. It lists the pages of a website by topic, by using keywords. All keywords should be embedded within content of that particular page, otherwise it will not be indexed by search engines. So I know it's a lot, so overwhelming, but I would say about 50% of the websites, probably 40% I should say, of the websites that we do those free usability reports for do not have sitemaps. We're like, what are you doing? That will definitely help your SEO. And it's a simple way. It helps you not only to get your SEO ranking up there, but it also helps you to organize your website. It's a website industry standard. It's a usability standard, and users look for it if they get lost on your website because it helps them to quickly get to another page by topic. So you should have a sitemap. So check the bottom of your website and see if you see the word sitemap. If you don't, your website's definitely not getting indexed. So I just went through these benefits of having a sitemap. It helps your SEO, it organizes your website, it offers a help option to users who might become lost on your website no matter how big or small your site is, and it's a web and usability standard. So what are some other key factors to success? The age of your website's important, okay? Now, if you go to a website, and I didn't put this in here, but this is a side tip for you. If you go to websitegrader.com, it's a HubSpot website where you could type in the URL to your company's website, and it brings up a whole slew of information for you, but that you can understand. It tells you how old your domain is. It tells you how much traffic's coming to your site. It tells you a whole bunch of information that we've gone over today. But your SEO ranking is contingent on your domain, the age of your site. Because if your site's set to expire, your URL, your domain name is set to expire in less than a year, search engines look at that first and they say, okay, this company's website's set to expire in less than a year. They didn't purchase more than that, which tells us that your website's not going to be it's not going to be there for much longer. You don't consider it that important, so why should we even index it? So you have to look at that. You have to look at the inbound linking of the popularity into the site, the frequency of inbound links. How often are people linking back to you? The number of inquiries over time where the site appears in results, the keywords in the domain, and the keywords in the folder structure. Page optimization is huge. The age of the website, the freshness of the content. How often do you change up the content on your website? Was it 5 years ago? Was it 10 years ago? Was it last month? The number of inbound to outbound quality links to the pages is very important as well. The page themes. The content must be focused on a single topic, include keywords, and be relevant. Your page titles have to have keywords embedded within them. Your page meta descriptions. Your descriptions for your pages need to be good. Meta tags are just HTML code that are inserted into the header on a web page. So your page descriptions, like I said, they have to include your keywords that are relevant to the page. So don't use the same description for every page of your website or it won't get indexed. It should include a sentence from the content of that page, and it should be under 70 characters. So this is a page description of the home page of our website. So you'll see it's under 70 characters. It includes keywords from the home page. It's relevant to the content on the home page. Page meta keywords. Keywords that are chosen for a page should be located within the content of the page. Remember, don't go overboard because your users will know what you're doing. The keywords also should be located within the description of the page. So this is just an example of the home page of our website and the keywords that we chose. Make sure that you don't have any more than 10 keywords. And again, if you're a business owner watching this webinar, you can check up on your team, your IT team, or whoever made your website. Right-click on 3 random pages of your site and click View Page Source, and you'll see all this information. Check up on them. Make sure you are optimized. The content within your website is everything that's visible in a web browser. Keyword prominence. Where on the page do your keywords appear? Main keywords should be at the beginning of content. Supporting keywords should be throughout the middle. Then the primary should be repeated again near the end of the content. How often do the keywords appear in relation to all other words on that page? The number of occurrences on the page is very important. If you're just repeating keywords throughout the content of your pages to increase your search ranking, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're taking people who are coming to your website and saying, oh my God, I totally see what they're doing. I don't want to go on this website. I don't want information here. They're not giving me information. They're worried about their search ranking. Search engines also look at content around the keywords, so they check for theme relevancy. So I know that we have about 14 minutes left, so let's talk about how to measure ROI. There are great tools out there to measure your return on investment with SEO. Use an analytics tool to monitor your site, to monitor your visitors, your conversion rates, your referrals. A great free tool is Google Analytics. It's free, however, you need to have someone embed code within every page of your website. It's like 4 to 5 lines of code so that Google can actually do the analysis and monitoring of every page of your website. So you need someone who knows how to program to do that. If you don't have someone but you want this done, contact us. We do it very cheaply. It's anywhere from $500 to $1,000 depending on how large your website is. Use a monitoring tool to monitor your site's ranking. Ranking based on keywords, research competitors, the age of their websites, the inbound links they're getting, the keywords used. And remember, content is the most important key to SEO. Your page titles, the keywords chosen, your page descriptions, and your content all go with your SEO ranking. So to summarize, you want to perform detailed keyword analysis. We kind of went through that today. Here at Situated Research, of course, we offer that, so just inquire if you're interested in that. Make sure your website is crawlable. Use web standards to create clean, light pages. Implement those keywords where they should be. Link build. Again, there's a separate webinar in our series on that. And design and implement with the user in mind first, then the search engine. Remember, what it all boils down to is how popular is your website? How many people are visiting your site? Relevant visitors? How many people are linking back to your site? The more popular you can make your site, the higher your page ranking will be in the search engines. So before we get to Q&A, I wanted to offer you guys attending today and tomorrow, so the people who are attending tomorrow will get the same offer. We have an advanced SEO package that we offer. It's about $4,200. And because we've seen, don't let that number scare you because it's not being offered to you guys for that. What we've seen, like I said, with those free usability reports and the people who attended last month's webinar, which was the same one as this one, what we noticed when we talked to them and the ones that contacted us was that they really need help with this. And yes, we are in business to make money, of course, just like any other business, just like you. However, we want to make sure that you are not getting screwed over by companies that you've worked for in the past. We want to make sure that you're not overwhelmed with what we talked about today because this was just the basics in order to get your website ranked. So we're giving you guys an exclusive offer today. Websites with less than 50 pages, these prices are going to adhere to. If you have more than 50 pages to your website, just still contact us because you're going to get a substantial discount and we'll give you a quote. What we're going to do is we're going to go through your website, every page of the website, no matter how big and small. We're going to make sure that every page of your site has a title. We're going to make sure that we do keyword research for your business, for your industry, and make sure that those 7 to 10 keywords that are chosen for your website are relevant. We're going to embed them within the code of every page of your site on the significant pages. We're going to make page descriptions for every page of your website, so they're all different and include the keywords, so everything we talked about today. And we're going to make sure that your website's submitted to all the major search engines. We're going to do this for you anywhere between $1,500 to $2,500. That's huge. And again, the range is because we have to look at your website the way it was coded. So if your website was coded properly, we can do this for you for $1,500 flat fee. If it wasn't coded properly, which sometimes we get websites where the programmer had no clue what they were doing, it's going to be a lot more work for us. So it's going to be more towards the $2,500 range. But I wanted you to get the range so that you could see. If you have a webmaster, some of you do, that works on your website, we can work together with them and come up with a plan. So give you a report of the keywords that should be embedded within your pages and the page descriptions that should be in there. And we can also generate you a sitemap for your website for $1,200 flat fee. We'll just give that information to your web team to implement within the coding. This takes 1 week to complete. If you want a sitemap add to your website, we usually charge $1,200 to generate a sitemap for a website, no matter how big or small. But what we are going to do for you today and tomorrow is give that to you for an additional $500. So if you're interested in this, if you're interested in anything that we talked about today, you need help, email us at info@situatedresearch.com and we can get you going. Just make sure that you said you attended today's webinar or tomorrow's webinar if you have friends who might be interested, because the price is normally $4,200 for advanced SEO. And it's an additional $1,200 for sitemaps. You're getting a gigantic discount today just because of the pattern that we've been seeing and the amount of advanced SEO packages we've been doing. We had about 45 last month that we did. Okay? So we know that the need's out there, and we want to make sure that we're helping you, because our ultimate goal as a usability company is to make sure that we're helping companies as well as users who come to your site. And they're not going to be coming if your SEO isn't up to par. So email us if you're interested. That's my sales pitch, but it's benefiting you, so I had to put it in there. So we'll go ahead and go through Q&A right now. We're about 8 minutes to 3 here in Chicago, so we have about 8 minutes for questions and answers. So if you had questions and you didn't ask them, type them in now in your questions box in your upper right-hand corner. We're going to go through those right now, but I'm going to leave up our contact information until 3 o'clock so that you have it. Again, our website is situatedresearch.com. You can find us on Twitter. We also have a Facebook fan page. So if you liked what you heard today, you want to be notified of upcoming webinars, we do announce that on our fan page, and we welcome all new fans. So definitely join. Definitely come back for our advanced SEO course as well as our other upcoming webinars. So check it out on our webinars page. If you're interested in the SEO package and you need help, you know, the only way you're going to know if you need help is by doing that right click on 3 pages randomly on your website and viewing the page source. If your titles or your keywords or your page descriptions are the same for every page, you need help. If you're missing it at all, you need help. If you don't have a sitemap on your website, you need help. So contact us at info@situatedresearch.com. So let's go ahead and go through the questions. Again, I'm going to leave that up for you so that you can view it. And I'm going to go through the questions. So I see a few. So I'm going to read them and see which ones we can go through. Okay. 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 Someone basically said that they built a website recently with iWeb, and they wanted a checklist of SEO items to go through, so they weren't really, I guess the bottom line was they weren't really looking for details today, but that they got those, so they were very thankful, and now they have a checklist to go by, so that's good. My only suggestion is if you made a website using iWeb on your own, you definitely need to check out our free webinar, which was recorded a couple of weeks ago, and we also have a live one coming up entitled, what is it entitled? Oh, what is it titled? I'm drawing a blank right now. It's basically what you need to know about your website needs, I think is the title. I'm drawing a blank right now. But check it out, because we talk about making a website on your own and how it's lacking a lot more than SEO. So definitely check that out. Someone asked, is there a penalty for having more than 7 to 10 keywords in the meta? Like I said, search engines, if you have more than 10, 10 is pretty much the norm. I mean, if you have, 15, they're not going to penalize you and not going to index your website. but you really want to get as precise as you can. So 10 is pretty much the number that we go by. I have friends that work at Google and other search engines, and they say 10 is pretty much the norm. So just try to stay below that number. Again, if you have 15, you're not going to get penalized as long as those keywords are relevant to the pages that they're on. Another question is, they're asking which URL of theirs is better for SEO. That question I'd have to email you privately. I'd have to bring up your website and take a look at it. Someone says, what is the max amount of characters for the page title? There isn't a max for your page title. Okay. The only thing that we say in the industry is that it needs to be short and to the point. Like I said, we have friends that work at Google and other search engines, and they say no more than 10 words within the page title. Otherwise, the search engines know what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you're not dipping into that black SEO hat category. Someone said, I thought keywords were not being used by Google anymore. Google is trying to get away from keyword optimization because of what people are doing. Like I said, 50 to 100 keywords is insane. So now Google isn't even indexing. The people that we've talked to within the industry and at conferences are also saying that Google is going away from keywords, but Google is not the only search engine out there. So you have to keep in mind the other search engines. Okay, so just to make sure that your website is SEO optimized, make sure you have those keywords. It helps you to make your page descriptions. It helps you to keep everything relevant to the page that all the content is on. So it does help you. But yes, you are correct in saying that Google is going away with that, not going to be looking at that anymore. You are correct. They're trying to do away with that, but it's a good practice. And the other search engines are. So that's also something to keep in mind. Not everybody uses Google. Someone said, what is the name of the website you mentioned to check the age of your website? It's websitegrader.com. Okay, and it's sponsored through HubSpot. And so basically what you do is you go to websitegrader.com. And there's no spaces, no dots. It's just one word, websitegrader.com. Type in the URL to your website, and it will tell you all the information that you need to know. Okay, it'll tell you how old your website is, when it's going to be set to expire, how many pages you have on your website, when was the last time Google even indexed your website. That's some good information to know as well. Let's see, and that's all the questions that I have. All the other comments or questions were stating that we did a good job and that we answered all your questions. So that's awesome. We are very excited. Again, we have that special promotion going on for you folks today and tomorrow. That doesn't mean that you need to make a decision right away. It's going to be offered to you guys for the whole month of April. I should have mentioned that. So definitely, think about it. Email me any questions that you have, and we'll be more than happy to answer those for you, and we'll get you going. Because if you have these problems and these issues, you want to make sure that your website is optimized right away. You don't want it to be overlooked anymore. So we definitely want to help you with that. So there are no more questions, so I'm going to leave the screen up for just another minute, and then I'm going to turn the webinar off. So I want to thank all of you for attending today. Again, our company is Situated Research, and my name is Michelle Ann Sherritt, your presenter and VP of Situated Research, and I was very delighted to present this to you today. If you have any friends that could benefit from this webinar, have them attend tomorrow. Just go to our webinars page on our website at situatedresearch.com/webinars. Click on Friday's webinar link and sign up. And again, today's webinar was recorded and will be made available towards the end of this week. Thank you so much. I hope I was able to answer your questions, and if you have any more, just email us. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and thank you again for attending.